All right, well, hey everybody. Today I'm going to do a quick review of the Crossway's ESV Heirloom Thinline Edition. As you can see, it's got goatskin for the cover, perimeter stitching, which I think is actually really well done. Sometimes you get perimeter stitching that just kind of looks like it was thrown together real fast. But with these heirloom editions, you don't have any of that. Usually where you can see kind of the most funkability, and I said funky, is right where you see the stitching overlap typically in like True Tone editions. It starts to come unraveled, but not so with the Heirloom edition. Now, you've got your 4 spine hubs, and then Holy Bible, ESV, English Standard Version, and then Crossway logo on there. Blank cover, no embossing, no stamping. It's got a nice grain to it. And when you feel the cover, it's nice and thick. It's not like this thin goatskin that I think people were commenting on back when they did the China print editions. These ones are back in the Netherlands. We got leather liner, so this thing's going to last a super long time. Nice gold gilting along the edge. As in all of the heirloom editions, it's edge lined. You can see the tab right there. And it's got kind of this vinyl leatherette page that leads right into these glossy cardstock, a glossy cardstock signature with your presentation page, marriages, birth and adoptions, and deaths. And then you have your title page. The title page, you got kind of two of them. The second one has all your copyright information. So here you can see ESV Holy Bible, Heirloom Bible, Thinline Edition. It's a 2016 text, and then you can see everything's back in the Netherlands, printed in 2022, and this is the first edition, which is awesome that they've moved things back to the Netherlands. I know that's old news, but still great news. And this is that really nice 28 GSM paper. It's thin and yet highly opaque, even with the lack of line matching. That's kind of always been people's critique of the ESV Thinline Edition, as you can see here, is that it's not line matched. So you see the front printing doesn't match the back printing of the lines, which is fine, to be honest with you, just because of the fact that with this Bible, you just don't need it. Line matching actually adds more pages. So when you don't do line matching, you can fit more text into more text per page than you could otherwise, especially in the poetic settings. That's where you see a lot of the added pages in line matched Bibles. Now, real quickly before we dive into the text, it's art gilding, red under gold, which is beautiful. Really well done. My edition has one small blemish when it comes to, sorry, I'm taking stuff out that I've been using. It's kind of hard to see. Right there in that first signature, you get some bleed, which that kind of stuff happens. Just because it's an expensive Bible doesn't mean that you're not going to have any flaws or blemishes, to be quite honest with you. Honestly, I think that there's too much expectation put on nice Bible manufacturers to make perfect text blocks, which is just not reasonable. It's not a reasonable expectation. When you have thousands of printed pages, you're going to have variation in print. You're going to have variation in gilding and variation in the art gilding, just because of the fact that it's a hand-bound process. This isn't mechanized. And so you're going to have human error involved, and hopefully not gross error. There has to be some standard if it's going to be a high-quality Bible. But often what I hear when I see the chatter on the internet just seems like there's way too much expectation for a perfect Bible, as if a perfect Bible is going to save us. That's just not how it works. All that being said, getting into the text, plain text, no cross references or anything other than what's in the footer here. And you have your full ESV footnotes, in their large print editions, namely the large print Bible, the large print Thinline. You actually have a reduction of footnotes. They do a minimalist footnote approach, and that's just to save on space. Oh, and also the large print journaling Bible. They do like an essentials only footnote, which, to be honest with you, there's not a lot of footnotes to begin with. So I would much prefer, to add an extra 100 pages so I can have the full set of footnotes, just because I find those really helpful to know what name, especially in the Old Testament, sometimes names mean something in the original language, or it corresponds to something, and those get eliminated, or you have other word translation options. And, I like knowing that when I'm reading. I don't want to have to go to my Logos Bible software to find some of that out. So I enjoy having the extra footnotes. Now, one thing about this edition in terms of the text print quality is it's really good. It's really good. And I'm not trying to gripe or complain, as I was just trying to explain that there's variation in text. I've found in this edition, for some reason, and I've ordered several of these editions just to see if it was a printing issue or if it was just the unique edition that I had received. It's hard to see on the camera, but I've seen it's like a medium darkness at best, and then sometimes it's light. The printing gets a little light for me, which, because of how small the text is, that can be difficult. So like here in Deuteronomy, I don't know if it's showing up on the camera at all, but it's a little light. And then, like, for example, if we flip over here, to 1 Corinthians, this is a good example of a darker page where the print is just a little bit, just feels like it's a little bit more bold, a little bit more readable. But like I said, they're going to have those little variations, and those little variations don't negate the quality of the Bible. This is a black letter text. That's something I actually really like about the heirloom editions. And one of the things that I really like about black letter text is that it reduces one more variable for printing imperfections. When you have a red letter text, sometimes what ends up happening is the red letter lines get out of alignment with the black letter, just because you have to have a second pass through the printer. Again, just another variable, and then also red shades show a higher degree of variation. So if black is black, but red, if it's printed just a little too lightly, or you need to replace, printer, ink, or something in the mechanism, it shows up more clearly that, with shades of pink or orange rather than dark shades of maroon, or dark red, bold red, so I like having the black letter text. Now, you have your normal Thinline Edition features, like you've got your table of weights and measures in the back. You've got a blank page followed by your concordance, and this is just the same concordance you get in any Thinline edition. One big difference, though, is that you've got, unlike the Thinline editions, which usually you have this last page followed immediately by the maps, but here you've got, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pages, 4 sheets, 8 pages of blank paper, of Bible paper, followed by your glossy maps. I know some people hate on that, just don't care. But then you've got a full signature, 4 sheets of cardstock paper at the end before you get to your vinyl back cover and your leather liner. And you can see this is goatskin leather. It's got 2 little ribbon markers, beautiful headbands. You can see I've already spilled coffee on my edition, which is great, to be honest with you. First thought that I had when I was actually running in church, I was doing announcements, and I was running from greeting people in our lobby area with a cup of coffee, and I was running and spilled coffee all over my brand new Heirloom Bible. And do you know what my first thought was? Oh, thank the Lord. Thank the Lord. Why? Because now I can use it. Now I don't care if it, gets, wrinkle watermarks or something. Like I've got some watermarks back here. My kids were playing in the bath and I was reading, and I mean, it doesn't really show up on the camera, but I was, got some watermarks. I was reading while my kids were in the bath, and my kids were splashing and got a few drops on the pages, and that doesn't bother me. And or pages get wrinkled from use, and so I love that. I love that all of a sudden now this is a Bible that I feel like, man, I can really use this and tear into it and just allow God's word to really seep into my heart, because I'm not afraid of wrecking it or anything like that. I do have a genuine leather edition to compare it to. This one's older, as you can see by some of the shine on it. It's just been used a little bit more. I've added some ribbons, which have held up well. But one of the things you can see just from the outside cover is that, there is a little bit of difference. Your heirloom is a little bit bigger, only because it's got some of that yap or overhang. There's not much of a yap to begin with. You open it up, and this lays pretty flat once you break it in, but you can see that the paper is a little bit whiter, whereas this has a little bit of a cream tint to it compared to this. This one's more of a bright white. This is a little bit more of a cream white. Not too bad. The ghosting, if I'm really honest with you, is not too different. You can tell, obviously, that this is not nicer paper than this. This is definitely nicer paper, especially how it feels. Silky smooth versus a little bit more of a rougher texture, which is fine. But to be honest with you, if you are looking for a nice Bible, your Thinline Edition, even the genuine leather edition, is a mighty fine Bible to use. The only big difference, besides the amazing paper and the lack of art gilding, as you can see here, is that it is a red letter edition. And I don't have any, this might be an example. You can see right here, the black line and the red line are just a little bit out of sync, which you're going to get some of that, but to be honest with you, Crossway does a really good job in terms of their darkness, keeping everything consistent. I did find that the black letter text here in the genuine leather edition that I have is consistent throughout. There's no pages that are lighter. I've read through this one. I don't recall there being any lighter printing or anything, which is great. So to be honest with you, I'd almost recommend going with the genuine leather, just because it's something that you can throw in your backpack or whatever, and it doesn't have the steep price tag. You can get this. You used to be able to get this for like $30 on Amazon. I don't know if you can do that anymore. I think it's like up to $37 or something on Amazon for a genuine leather edition. It's going to last you a lifetime. Or you can pay, the $200 on discount for something like this. But, the reading experience is greatly different. It's a beautiful Bible. And so I hope that that's a good review. I hope that I've added something to reviews rather than just kind of duplicating what other people have done. You can see it's just a beautiful edition of God's Word. And so may it bless you, and if you choose to purchase this edition, you won't be sorry with it. It's, you've got your regular edition, your Thinline edition, it's got nice paper. You know, it's not a bad edition. So, you know, go ahead and get this if your budget is lower. But if you've committed to the ESV and you're really wanting a nicer edition to increase your reading experience and also just something that's going to last you a lifetime, this is such a phenomenal edition that you can purchase and just continue to soak in God's Word. So hope that was helpful, everybody, and see you on the flip side. Have a good one.